Faceless and new crusaders with no agenda, no agenda.
Hey, I'm Miss Chrissy.
And I'm Steve.
And you're listening to JAGcast, the podcast of the Jenkintown Arts Garage. And this is episode 140.
Yeah, this is the show where we explore the intersection of the arts and technology, often with very interesting guests, just like this episode, where we're going to be talking to Joe Montone, a concert and experience producer, songwriter, and founder of a soon-to-be launched nonprofit called Stage United. We know Joe from the Abington Arts Center Summer Concert Series here in the Jenkintown region. Right, Chrissy?
That's right. And he brought some pretty cool acts to the Summer Concert Series last year, so I'm excited to see what he has planned for this year.
Yeah, including my favorite band, Jenkintown's own Camera Thief.
Yes, your very favorite band.
Which if I have like 5 or 6 photos from that, maybe we'll show off. We might have done it already somewhere, but
no, we did. I think we showed off your cool photos before.
Yeah. But that was a really good time. But Joe's into a lot of other things, and has a very interesting, long history. 14 years doing this kind of stuff. So I think it's gonna be a good conversation. So without further ado, let's bring on Joe. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Hey.
Hi, Joe.
Having me. Thank you so much, guys.
Of course. Good morning. Super early morning to talk about music, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll see you have a nice, you have like a vinyl collection back there?
A little bit. It's not too much of a collection, more of here's a bunch of records that I have randomly accumulated, but it's good stuff.
Nice. I don't have any vinyl. When I was a kid, though, we did. I used to listen to, what did I listen to? I used to listen to terrible records when I was a kid. Like they were terrible.
Go Duck.
Yeah, I think my dad might have the Beatles and stuff. That was good. But I mean, like there was some kind of kids. There was some kids like record. Man, the Chipmunks. I remember when I was really little.
Everybody had that, right?
I know, everybody had that, right? And that's what I just remember.
Yeah. We used to go to the mall a lot. Growing up, obviously. I mean, we all back in our day, we used to go to this thing called the mall,
Right.
But and forcing my dad to buy a Chipmunks cassette, it probably took everything in him to be like, all right, I'm doing this. And I'm gonna hear nothing but Danger Zone, the Chipmunks version from now on, But luckily that fades. They're not my favorite band anymore. But
there you go. No more love for the Chipmunks, huh? So what are you doing this summer?
So much. The Summer Concert Series at Abington Arts Center, though, is definitely a large part of my summer. And launching a nonprofit called Stage United. And I've been working with an artist by the name of Low Cut Connie out of Philadelphia as well on a project with WXPN and the Ardmore Music Hall. So
cool.
The Ardmore is a great place.
Oh, so fun.
I've taken some photos there. It's fun. And I believe I've met Low Cut Connie, or at least the name is I definitely know the name.
Yeah, I like to call it underdog rock from South Philly. It's very
nice.
It's definitely South Philly rocky, leaning. It's good.
So are you a musician? Is that how this all began?
That is actually how it all began. 14 years ago, I was just starting to write my own music, write my own songs, and I wanted to, find out a way to, foster different relationships with artists in different states. And I thought my way of doing that would be to set up shows here, and I trade shows with them, and just got really good at booking shows. And it really snowballed from there to the point now where it's actually all I do. It's really amazing.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So do you still play music, or do you just book now?
Yes. I was actually just in the studio. I have a new EP that I'm working on, and it's a trip to be simultaneously booking but also writing. And writing, for me, and playing music. I don't know. It's definitely like an extra artery or something. It's like part of me for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what do you play? Are you a guitar player?
I play guitar and piano, and I sing. I play, synth. I make some noise and stuff too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
So who can you tell us who's coming this summer, or is that like a big secret?
Let's see. I'm trying to think
get-
about how we're rolling it out. I will say that the month of this episode in April, there will be a full announcement of our lineup.
Perfect.
And it's going to be awesome.
Cool. So is it still the same? You have to remind me what their format is. It's Thursdays, correct?
Yeah, I can give you guys clues.
Okay. So it's on Thursday nights at the Abington Arts Center. And for those of you listening, if you haven't seen an outdoor anything at the Abington Arts Center, I gotta say, it's pretty amazing. Like, I do a lot of my dance performances there for my students, and we love it. The lawn is gorgeous. The theater is great. The kids can run around. There's like food trucks, and sometimes there's moon bounces. And is that Camera Thief? Oh no, that's Lev.
Yeah,
That's Lev, and then a couple Lev, and then some Camera
there you
Thief.
go.
This is
Yeah.
Camera Thief.
That's a great shot, Steven.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. This took a bunch of attempts, but yeah, you can see how there was a big crowd that night, and it's this beautiful lawn.
The clouds too.
Yeah,
That was
It's
great
very
night.
cool over there. I love it.
yeah.
So
This should just be a Brendan Duffy appreciation episode, honestly.
It really should be. Yeah, Brett. Yeah, I had a crazier shot of him, but I didn't put it in the slide deck. But yeah, Brendan's right there on
There he
the
is.
keyboards. He was in both
Hard
bands. Great guy.
So great.
We love Brendan.
so it's Thursdays, and then you just have to. When does it? Like, how long does it go? Like, I feel like it's a little bit shorter than the Jenkintown
It is.
Tuesday night thing. Oh, I can't see, Steve. Someone else has to
I'm-
read
yeah,
it.
if you're-
Okay.
If you're watching it, I have the website up. It's
Oh,
says
look.
5:30 p.m. grounds open. Opening band plays 6:30. Headlining band 7:15. See, I appreciate this. The nice. This is like when many years ago when I went to like London. I went like 2002 or something, and right before I left, I went to see a movie. I went to see like the what was it, the Lord of the Rings Part 2, whatever. And I was just blown away at the time because they had a sign outside the theater. It was like my last day there. I had nothing to do. I was like, oh, I have a couple hours to go watch a movie. And they had a sign that said exactly when the preview started, when the movie actually started, when the doors opened. I was like, what? And it was assigned seating before that was a thing here in the United States so much. And I was like, what is
That's
this?
so funny.
What is this radical world? So so I've always had a great appreciation for someone just telling me when things actually start. And they start, and it starts, I think, on time. I mean, I think the Camera Thief show is on time, which is actually pretty impressive, Joe, because Camera Thief shows are not known to always start on time. Well, it's just because there's always so much equipment they would have to set up so far. When we did it in Town Square in Jenkintown, it was like
I think they were there at like noon.
yeah, they had to get there at noon. It was something like that, and they were like setting up. They were setting up for hours. Yeah, so it's great that we have a very competent producer over there to do this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
'Cause that was a crazy setup. It was a crazy bunch of equipment up on stage.
Oh yeah. Luckily we got a great sound tech too that really helps run the stage and expedite all that process.
There were these lights and stuff, which you can't really see here, and there was like a balloon. I don't know what was this. Was this someone else? Do you have anything to do with the balloons? I mean, not the balloon. What is this thing called, Chrissy? You would know.
It's a moon bounce,
The
Steven.
moon bounce. That's right, the moon bounce. Do you have anything to do with what's happening around the stage, or are you just the music?
I am the sponsorship coordinator for like 6 months, I'd say. Well, my whole this project is really like 6 months of my year. So I'm reaching out to various sponsors within the region, designing the programming of the 5 nights. It's like it's only quote unquote 5 nights. So this year we're trying to pack in as much music as we can. In years past, with the exception of Lev and Camera Thief, it was really only featuring one artist per night. This year we're trying to do 2 artists each night.
Yeah.
And really focus on local this year as well. And the third goal for me every year is to not only just book exciting artists, whatever, but really hit home that this is like a soundtrack of togetherness. This is your summer playlist as the sun is setting on a Thursday night. Hitting that's sort of the loose theme, So
Cool.
Yeah, covering those bases is the producer role, and it's really great. It's an awesome team. Beth is in charge of the moon bounces.
Oh,
Nice.
We gotta get Beth on to
And
talk about the moon bounces.
and everything surrounding the stage, Beth is on top of.
Yeah, there's a really good vibe at the concert series.
Mhm.
With that going on with and it was cool from a photography standpoint to have this it was just, of course, not intentional, not put there for photography, but I remember it was really cool because there was all these lights on the stage too, especially when it got darker at night. But during when it was lighter out, when Lev was playing, you had this colorful backdrop I could get from across the stage with a long lens. It was neat. It was really good. So it was a fun time, and they had that big. At first, I was kind of I don't know if I like this giant
The
backdrop.
scrim. I think that thing is awesome. I was
No,
I should
it grew
invest
on me.
in one of those for my dance shows.
Yeah, but I mean, when I was trying to photograph things, I was like, oh, this thing is in my way here. But then I was like, no, this is cool because it looks cool from the front. And then I was oh, can I get something through? I noticed it was translucent. I was like, can I get this thing to work? So I went behind the stage, and I think I got one of Lev too, but this is my favorite one from behind the stage.
And you achieved. That was
it took some. I had to so I had to manually focus. That was the trick, which I did not know if it was going to work because I could barely see anything.
wow.
It was because it's bright it was. So I had to you had to manually focus to try to get it to not. The autofocus always wanted to focus on the on the actual screen. So I had to do that, and so, I don't know. It worked out pretty well. And then I had to do a lot of editing to try to get the contrast and stuff right.
Right, especially with the manor just in the background.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I really wanted that in the background because one of the good shots at Abington Arts Center is from this angle. If you're not blocked, especially when there's a crowd, and that's what I was like. Oh, this sucks. This thing is gonna be in my way. But you know what? Then I was like, no, it's cool. So this is actually one of my favorite shots. So I grew to love this thing during that shoot. While I was sweating my body weight out in the water. It was so hot.
We had
hot
so
that
many
day.
obstacles last year.
I can't believe the equipment managed to hold out. I mean, oh my God. Nobody passed out or anything either, on stage.
Right. Yeah.
It was so hot. It was 90-something degrees that day.
Yeah. Summer fun, Steve.
Yeah.
Summer fun.
Yeah, summer fun.
I like the
You're on
heat.
that moon
So.
bounce too much, man. I saw you. So I can't get enough of this. Who's in charge of that moon bounce?
So this is your third summer. How did you? Is this because it used to happen pre-COVID. How did you get into this? Here, because you're not local, you're not hyper local like we are, right?
Right. Yeah. It felt funny at first to be oh, I don't know, if in Doylestown, I feel like Jenkintown's sort of the same way. It's who's this outsider, coming into our town and thinking he can book a concert series here. I didn't feel that way from the community, but I felt that way, from having my own small town where, you really gotta know your backyard, and so I'm glad that this has all been going well. But it started because of a concert series that I produced in Doylestown and still am producing, called Picnics on Pine. It started as distance picnics through lockdown as a socially distant outdoor concert series with food and live music. It was sort of a way to activate restaurants again because they weren't even doing really much takeout or outdoor dining yet. So it was a way to a concept to have like a food court basically with live music, and it expanded from there after lockdown to become Picnics on Pine, and it's pretty much the reason I'd say that I got in the door with Abington. Shout out to Ashara Shapiro for making the connection.
Nice.
Is this is the website, right? I'm showing on the screen.
Yes.
What's this like location that's in all these photos on the?
Yeah. So that is just a block away from State and Main in Doylestown. And it's a church parking lot that St. Paul's Episcopal Church donates to us every year.
That's really cool. So is that where all the shows are?
Yeah, talk about a backdrop. You know,
it's a cool backdrop. I thought it was like a farmhouse.
I thought it was a barn or
a
something.
barn. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So it's like right in the downtown, right?
Yeah, and it's just close enough, you know, that people can walk in. It's in the borough, you know. It's a stone's throw from the museums, but it's also just far enough away that we can still, you know, close off the street and charge an admission and, you know, make it feel like this is a true block party. You know, like if you did it any closer to State and Main, you couldn't have the vendors we have or, you know, food. And,
good crowd.
Doylestown has a little like pocket of a music community, right? Like a pretty tight knit one.
Yeah. There's a lot of awesome artists actually coming out of here right now. And there's a few different bookers and different venues too.
Right. I performed at Puck once with some guy who lives in Doylestown. Devin Chekhov.
Oh, nice.
Devin,
Wow.
wait, is Devin the guitar?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the guy who nearly killed you with his long. So Chrissy and her dance partner Steph will do these improv dances, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one in particular, and they did a few times with Devin. I remember one.
Yeah, Devin's great for us to dance with because it's like his music really lends itself to that. But he has no concept of time, and we're like literally dying. Like
that's so big. Yeah, just go and just like give it.
I think it was like 15 minutes. Like 15 minutes of movement improv is like you can't walk the next day.
Wait, is that when he came to the garage?
God.
Is that when he was?
No,
at the garage,
that was when oh God,
he did come.
Doesn't Round Guys?
Oh yeah, Round Guys had a place in Glenside.
Yeah,
okay.
And we went to like an open mic with him. We did a bunch of them with him. We went to Puck with him. We went to Round Guys with him, and he just kept playing.
I remember
him playing. I haven't talked to him in a while. I mean, I certainly would be. Like, he's cool. I think we did like half a dozen things together at one point. I don't even know how we met him, but
next time you see him, ask him about the dating game at Mom's and the air guitar competition at Mom's. He won the air guitar competition.
Okay,
and he was like, he made the floor. He just like, you know, swept the floor with the audience at the dating game when we did this like gag 70s, you know, game.
I could totally see that. Oh my God, with the hair and the
you're gonna have to explain to me how do you do an air guitar competition?
That
like I don't like logistically. I don't even know how that works.
So before Picnics, before a lot of things, it was the first 6 years of me. Well, technically, you know, a year and a half, 2 years into me booking shows and stuff. Maxwell's on Main had me produce an entire concert series for them that lasted 6 years. It was called Craft Culture. We did it Thursdays through Sundays, and Mom's is in Doylestown, Maxwell's on Main. And so I was like, what are we going to do on a Thursday? You know, got to keep that room going. And essentially had an air guitar competition. So, you know, we did signups the night of. They would tell me what song they wanted to air guitar to. And I think I had an applause-o-meter on my phone.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
You know?
See, there we go. We got our technology intersection there with the phone app.
You watch the what's that movie? That Thing You Do. She was just like with the applausometer for the
Yeah.
one scene.
But
Um,
I mean, like air guitar. It's just like it's like pretending to play a guitar, right? So like it was just based on applause. Okay, I get
yeah,
it.
you gotta
Yeah.
really, you
You
gotta
got to really
really,
ham it up then, huh?
He has the if Devin still has the hair, he had like the long hair, right? So that could
totally.
really work for you. You could go with the hair metal guitar style, maybe
Oh yeah,
swing the hair around.
And
yes.
he's funny too.
Yeah,
So
he's such a
Oh,
good guitar player though. It's
phenomenal.
scary. He's really good, and he'll
That's
just sit
great.
there and he gets in like the zone, and that's why I think that's why you just
yeah, that was
it-
why we almost died. He was in the zone, like wasn't looking up. He was playing his 12 string, and we were like, I cannot. I literally don't think I could walk the next day. It was so
yeah I remember
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Almost killed Miss Chrissy.
Yeah,
That-
Doylestown,
yeah.
you better watch out. You know,
Yeah.
us Doylestoниans with our guitars will
Yeah.
tire you out.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was one of my more memorable improvs.
That's great.
So
Have
Yeah,
you?
fun.
there's a few venues in Doylestown. I was managing and operating Puck for the last 2 years, and Tileworks has a outdoor bluegrass series. They do shows inside the Tileworks as well, which I'll be hosting in April, at the end of April. And besides the picnic series, Puck is actually under new management now.
okay.
And they're doing shows again. And
Oh, we should go through your dates while we're talking about things.
oh, sure.
Okay, I can't.
And
Again, I can't. Somebody else has to read here.
I can read them, but
Okay,
but,
great.
but yeah, you're talking about your the Tileworks thing. I've seen that. I think Brendan has shared that over
yeah.
stuff at Tileworks. But yeah, we have a list of
is
Brendan's
part of the Tileworks crew.
oh, he's part of the crew over there.
Yeah, that's one of his day jobs.
Oh, all right. What does it do? What does the Tileworks do? Like what do they make?
Tileworks is this is my local sort of interpretation, not the full interpretation, but it is Henry Mercer's studio. Henry Mercer was a tile maker and just like an adventurer, explorer kind of guy. This is terrible. This is not the tour you're going to get at Tileworks. And he built 2 castles in Doylestown, one for living in and one for his collection of old architectural tools, and it's phenomenal. The one with the tools and stuff is called Mercer Museum, and yeah, I mean he built these out of concrete because he was afraid of fire. So it's just like him and a horse and a little crew back in whatever year. They should really hire me for this tour. And the Tileworks is where he made tiles similar to his process with the concrete to build the castles, and they still use that process today with all the old techniques. His technique.
Wow. So they're literally making tiles.
Oh yeah, and it is just like, talk about a photo shoot. Every corner nook of that place is just, there was no designs. This guy just was making rooms as he went along with his concrete and his friends, I guess, his buddies, and yeah, it's definitely an amazing atmosphere for concerts.
Is it the Tileworks of like what, Bucks?
Yeah, it's in Bucks County.
Did you ever see Drunk History?
Wait, I
That's
think I
what I
found
feel
it.
like I just did. It's just like, yeah, him and his buddies and a horse. You
Is
should
this it?
definitely
Is this
go get the tours, do the Doylestown thing.
Is this the place?
That's Tileworks right there.
Yeah. So if you're watching, you can see a little. The website has a photo
Ooh.
of the outside of it. Very cool, very cool, and they have tours and stuff. So,
Yeah.
So you have a bunch of events coming up though.
Yeah.
Starting in
Oh my
April
goodness.
14th. So if you're listening to this or watching it live, it should be out before your events list here. But you got stuff happening at Abington Arts Center, and
Mm.
you have a fundraiser. It's at Human Robot. Is that Human Robot Jenkintown or the one?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
I was going to ask you if you've been to Human Robot Jenkintown. Apparently you have.
Yeah. Oh, love it. Love it
Yeah.
so much.
The brunch series is great if you like jazz. If you haven't been there for
Mhm.
that yet.
Well,
But-
we're gonna take over the brunch series on April 14th with
okay.
music bingo, and all the proceeds from the bingo itself are going to Abington Arts Center for the Summer Concert Series. And I'm not going to say that they're going to do $1 per beer goes to the concert series, but they did last year. So hey, we'll both be surprised.
Yeah.
But the human robot crew over there is just so great and so supportive. And yeah, that's gonna be a fun day. We're doing that from 12 to 4 on April 14th with my buddy DJ Alex Bantz. All the bingo cards are gonna have band names on it. We're gonna be playing, The Clash, Blondie, whatever, new indie hits, new wave, 80s stuff, whatever feels good for brunch. And we'll just be shouting out the band name. If it's on your card, win some prizes from local
Cool.
businesses, and it's
Nice.
going to be a great way to start the day.
Oh, and your says on your list you're performing.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's so funny. People will be like, "Yo, you ready for that show coming up?" And I'm just like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" So it's crazy. I'm glad other people know. April 30th, I'll be hosting a night of song at Tileworks. Actually, this place we're talking so much about, you could actually see it for yourself. And yeah, I'll be guest hosting, playing a few songs in between sets by fellow Pinans out of Oregon and Baron Tiger from Doylestown. So going to be a night of songwriters. I'll be introducing each artist, maybe asking them a couple questions about the process. And we got a bake shop pop-up from Crossroads Bake Shop. Some refreshing ciders on site. It's going to be great.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then of course you have your picnics on Pine we talked about coming up, and then more things happening in Doylestown and the Abington Arts Center's concert series. All this stuff. I'll put this list of things it'll be on the website, on the Jenkintown Arts Crowd website, on the show notes here. We'll put the list in here so you can see
awesome.
the dates. So yeah, I don't know. Is there anywhere else that you have this stuff listed all in one place, or you just email us the the list?
Yeah, I do have an email list, and you can get that by scrolling down to the bottom of picnicsonpine.com.
Oh,
Cool.
That's not my main hub, but I'm working on a main hub right now with the
yeah, I know what you mean.
the nonprofit. Still got to adjust 2024 for the picnics too there.
Yeah, so down here at the bottom.
But,
Yeah. So before we actually move on
Mhm.
to the end, we did introduce you saying you were starting a nonprofit. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. I gave you guys sort of an overview of the last 14 years, but through that experience at Maxwell's on Main, with Picnics on Pine, even with Abington, with Puck, the last 2 years I produced probably 50 shows out of Puck last year before the new management just renovated, which are great. Those guys are great. The Great Barn, hit them up. The thing I learned the most through all those experiences was that we need a nonprofit to sustainably present this kind of programming. We don't have a theater that holds 1,200 people. I don't know if we even have a community that wants to go out to a theater every night. So even if we had a massive place, could that even be sustained by, ticket sales and beer sales alone? So the nonprofit would essentially be a just the engine for concerts that you normally wouldn't see in areas like ours. It's called Stage United, and it's just that infrastructure that we're sort of missing in presenting original live music. It would partner with venues like the Tileworks, like Abington Arts Center, whoever has, you know, a non-traditional space, even in traditional venue spaces. You know, it gives us more freedom and more infrastructure again to present something that would be really hard to otherwise.
Probably helps with like fundraising and sponsorships and all that stuff as well.
For sure. I mean, we have this area that, you know, wants and needs live music. I don't know if we necessarily have like we don't have traditional venue spaces, which is great because that gives us a special, intimate, you know, way of experiencing live music. But yeah, can we do it together this time?
Yeah, we did a few things when we had the actual physical garage. It was a very non-standard space. We did a variety of things, including musical stuff, and it was fun. This is the one photo I have of the internal inside of the garage here. But yeah, we had like a game show back during the pandemic when you couldn't do anything, you know, and yet we had to be like outside. So this is technically kind of outside because we just open the doors and we do things like mostly in front. And it was a lot of fun to have music in, as you said, non-standard venues. It was a good time. But once everything opened up again, you know, like we were barely able to.
It's a tougher sell to get people to hang out in a.
And you know, weather was like an issue and stuff. Yeah. So it's like it'd be one of the things we were always thinking about is like there's not a lot of great venues like around our area for live music. There's the Abington Arts Center, obviously, but it's outside.
Yes.
And again, like we Chris and I used to be part of the rec board that would organize a summer music series in Jenkintown. But again, that's like outside in town square. We get like sometimes they get canceled, you know, with the weather. Right. It's like, where do you go? We had Human Robot. Thankfully, they came in here and they've been really gung ho about bringing in music. That's kind of a non-standard place. That's cool. And you know, and some of the other bars and stuff. But there's not like a good like concert venue per se anywhere nearby. And so that's cool. You're working on this and bring it. But I've seen like the last couple of years a lot more posts from the Tileworks thing. I've still haven't been there. I want to go out to it, but I thought that was really cool.
It's breathtaking for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the grounds there, just like Abington, there's a lot of crossover. There's a lot of crossover in general, I think, between Jenkintown and Doylestown as far as you know, the downtown, the community feel, and but yeah, the grounds of Tileworks, very.
Yeah, I gotta get out there.
But yeah, like you're saying, I mean, even if we had, you know, like a theater, whatever, it's still about like, hey, you know, can we market this thing? Can we afford to pay artists? You know, because you know, in our small communities, I don't know if we have like, you know, the same audience as a major city, which, you know, is, I mean, triple probably what our actual population is anyway.
Yeah.
But
it's hard. I'm saying even in the city, it's hard to get people to come out to shows often.
Yeah.
You saw the Grape Room just closed.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I don't know what the deal was. I think it was a lease thing. But I remember they announced it in December, and they just posted that they're like done.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, learning at Puck, you know, doing the books and stuff like that. Even just for the shows, I mean, it's really challenging to, you know, sustain a venue, even like a small club, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Royal's doing something in Glenside.
Oh, right. We should mention the Royal. We like the Royal. We've been over there several times. We should have a whole show about the Royal because they're great. The Royal is like if Chrissy and I had done like the garage for like a job, like we probably would have ended up with something like the Royal, a small location that was had like a stage and doing these intimate and interesting shows over there.
Yeah. So I know that is my next chapter, you know, and
they became a nonprofit, right?
Yeah, they became a
Yeah,
nonprofit
so-
recently, somewhat
Yeah,
recently.
maybe that is just the structure you need in order to
Yeah.
get live music, because it's very, very hard to do it profitably. And
Right.
then and it's not just um like the profit like you think of revenue minus expenses, but the taxes and stuff that eat into the margin even more.
Yeah. And another thing is like, do you guys have this experience in Jenkintown where
Yeah.
you go, remember that place? I used to do that thing.
Yeah.
Or like, remember that time that we used to have this cool concert series, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
You know, like that is totally our
It's
experience too.
yeah, you need some kind of structure to keep it going. So in Jenkintown we have the recreation board, which is organized music and stuff, but that's like a volunteer thing and it's hard to get people. So
Right.
nonprofits is like kind of in between, right? So it's like, you're not making, the profit from it or anything, but it's more organized than just a typical volunteer group would be.
Right.
And you could hire actual people and stuff like that.
Totally.
So
And
that's great. Maybe that is just the future. Maybe you were a pioneer in the future here of live music in the suburbs anyway. Maybe
Yes.
everywhere.
yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what you do. You don't have a particular like a web page or anything, any public information yet about this?
That is in the works. By May, we'll be making, I think, a bigger splash. But Stage United, this is actually the first time I'm actually talking about. So
Okay, so look out for more
Awesome.
info in May of 2024 here.
I mean, unless you're like somebody that's talked to me for the last 2 years, then you've heard everything about it, and maybe only that. Like Jose, what is it? Pepe Silvia from from Always Sunny, where he's pointing at the board. You know that thing?
Yeah.
He's just like going insane. Like
That meme is everywhere. I love that one.
That was that meme.
Yeah, it was on. It's like the
The mailroom.
Dude, Always Sunny has been on so long. I mean, like, and it's still going on. It's crazy. The show is
I
hilarious.
just love that meme.
Yeah. So many memes come out
Can
of the show.
relate.
Yeah. Oh man. So, I think it's been a really great having you here. We're not done yet, but I think
Yes.
we're gonna try to move on
Thanks.
to our last segment, which is going to be a game called something, right, Chrissy?
Great.
Okay, Steve, are you going to try to explain it?
Okay, so a
gotta-
game called something. It's more of an activity than a game, as I say, because there's not really any winning or losing, and the rules are very simple. Chrissy has a book of colored cards. You will pick one of the colors from this list here of colors, and then
I love your description, Steve.
yes, and then Chrissy will
Magical book
choose.
of colors.
Yes, exactly. Then Chrissy will choose a card that's one of those colors, and it has a question on it, and then we'll all answer the question and learn something about each other. And usually, this is when the show tends to go off the rails.
You always say that. The rails are
Right.
loose. It's fine.
Well, okay.
can't wait.
Sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes it's gone into weird directions during this. Sometimes it's been.
You
just
never
more
know what
insightful.
happens.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready? You get to
Yeah.
choose.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Oh, he has it up there for you. It's gray, orange, green, yellow, Sharpie blue,
You're the one who named it Sharpie Blue.
and bright orange.
I'm feeling wow. I'm feeling green.
There you go.
Final answer.
Can you give me how to read this without your glasses?
Okay, what is a job you would be terrible at?
I know for sure that it is. Wait, is it like just any job?
Yeah, I mean it's a little 3x5 card with some writing on it. Any job you would be bad at, and
I tried roofing for a month and it felt like 5 eternities.
Oh,
I
wow.
was like, I'm gonna write off music completely. I'm just gonna become a carpenter and laborer. And
didn't go
I
well.
hate painting too. I would just, if I hire friends, like money, like I'm just please paint. If I go into a new apartment, yeah,
Yes.
I hate painting.
No manual labor for you,
Yeah,
or not the trades rather.
No, I cook. Is that manual labor? I like cooking.
Cooking, yeah. I mean, I guess it
Cooking.
depends on what kind of cooking, how much
I don't
labor
know. Is that
involved.
manual labor?
I
don't
guess
think
it
that
depends.
counts.
Depends on what kind of cook you are doing, I guess. I guess it's not technically manual labor, but it can be definitely laborious, depending on what you're
Yeah,
doing.
right. No touching walls or putting up walls. I just can't.
There you go. Okay.
No construction, rather.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve? What are you gonna do poorly?
I think I would be terrible as a Walmart greeter.
You would be terrible at that.
Yeah, see, immediately Chrissy knows. I don't really want to greet people. I don't like people that much in general. I think I would just go mad with all the people constantly talking to me when they come in, or just ignoring me. I don't know which way it goes at Walmart anymore. But yeah, I don't think I'd be very good. Anything that's like people centric, because I'm a software developer is my actual job.
Got you.
I can get along with people fine. I'm a little exaggerating, but it's like my default state is to work like alone on things.
Yeah.
And definitely I'll get tired if I have to do like a lot of social interaction. It doesn't invigorate me like it does a lot of people. It just makes me tired having to like meet and greet and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be very good. Probably wouldn't be very good as a politician then either, because I don't want to kiss babies and like lie
Round top
constantly.
Operator. Good.
But yeah, greeter, Walmart greeter is not probably the
What about you,
retirement
Chrissy?
job for me.
What's your-
I think like data entry. I would be
Okay.
really bad at data entry. One, I don't sit still well.
Right.
And apparently I'm blind now. Also, I hate numbers. So
Always
all of
opposite.
those things would be bad for me.
Yeah. I think sometimes that I'm good at, data entry and stuff like that until it's like, oh, y'all are already finished, and I'm just, gotta
I don't have the patience for like tedious and monotonous things either. I just like
Not gonna become a
drives me.
programmer.
No, I could not be a programmer.
Chrissy will call me up and she'll be like, "Oh, what are you doing? What's up?" And I'm like, and I'll just describe literally what I was just doing
I'm like,
programming wise.
no, no.
It's like
I wonder.
I was
No.
adjusting the corner rate the other day. I was adjusting the corner radius of different views to match between the hierarchy in an app or something. She's
I was
"That
like,
sounds
oh
horrible."
no, that's terrible. Yeah.
What would our terrible job be together though? Like, what is this
No.
business we're talking about?
Oh.
Like,
Where I'm a Walmart greeter, Chrissy's data entry or
and
something.
I'm just terrible.
And you're like a
terrible
painter. What is this job?
I don't know.
What
I'm
is this
thinking.
business? It's like it sounds like an episode of It's Always Sunny. It's like
True.
the gang gets new jobs. Or something.
So good.
Yeah. No. Also, I would probably be a bad waitress person, but that's okay.
Oh wow, yeah. My grandmother was a waitress. She used to tell me stories about being a waitress, and she was apparently she could count everything. She could do the money. So they would sometimes if someone would try to like rip her off with the tips or whatever, like the other, she'd catch them.
Yeah. Somehow I went through, 4 years of art school and a decade of being a professional dancer and never worked as a waitress. Don't know how.
Wow.
Yeah, neither have
Yeah.
I never had to
Where
work
all my friends were waitresses, and
Oh yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like that was the go-to
Doing
side
catering
hustle.
gig next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to. I didn't do any like fast food or anything like that
Yeah.
either. So I was lucky. Even since high school, I've always been a computer guy. I was like,
Man.
I had a co-op, or not co-op. It was a co-op. It was like I worked at the tech school in Eastern Center for Arts and Technology, what's called. I worked there. So my senior year, I got like an internship, I guess, there in the IT department there. Essentially, I was working on the network system there.
Wow.
And then I've been doing. And I think the closest I had was a job at Gateway Country before I started college, which doesn't even exist. But that was when there was a computer company called Gateway Computers.
Yeah.
They made these
I'm like,
boxes.
wait, you're talking gateway right now.
Gateway, but yeah, have you ever had boxes that were like,
cow.
like the cow boxes? Well, they used to have stores, and I worked at the desk that brought in the computers for repair. I wasn't repairing them, which is what I wanted to be doing, but I was bringing them in. So that was like the close side. That was the worst job I ever had for me because I hated it because again the people thing. It was I had to constantly deal with annoyed, angry people like computer illiterate people too, and like and there's ancient. They had this ancient computer system that you had to, for the entry and everything was like this horrible. Yeah, it was a horrible system, and I used to have nightmares from it because the phone always ringing. So I'd have dreams of the phone like ringing, and then me answering it with the whatever the spiel was I was supposed to do when you answer the phone.
Funny.
And it was awful for like a year after that or something. They wanted me to come back when I left to go to college. They're like, they really wanted me to come back. They really wanted me to be there part time or something because I was apparently really good at it. I was like, no, I can't. I have to lose my mind.
Like I can't deal with this.
I'm 17.
I know. I was like, I can't. This is obviously not for me. And it wasn't a bad job or anything at all. It's just my personality does not like to constantly deal with people all day long. So there you go. Should we try another one?
All right, let's do one more. My building is waking up now, so we have to
one more.
Hustle it up. There's a bunch of CrossFit over here is doing some sort of thing this morning. So
fun.
There's like droves of people walking past me. Anyway, Joe, pick a color.
Oh wait, we did the color. Is this another color?
Yeah, different color.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go with yellow.
Oh, yellow. Okay, hold on.
At least you didn't do gray.
Oh, this one is appropriate. Yeah, don't do gray.
Chrissy hates gray.
I hate gray.
She keeps it in the book. She hates gray.
I don't want to lose it all together. There's only 2 left. I've destroyed the rest of them. So, okay, what's your first concert you ever went to?
Oh, Vans Warped Tour 2002.
Oh.
Yes.
There you go.
Good. That was with my cousin John, who I partially blame for all this music stuff. And we got to see like Taking Back Sunday on like a side stage. Brand New was on a somewhat side stage too. I mean, it was like the year before the gigantic mainstream explosion for all those bands. And
cool.
I had some blue hair gel. I was 13 and I was super cool.
Nice.
I was not. that was sarcasm. But, yeah.
Steve, what was your first concert?
I don't know if I remember what my first concert was. I didn't actually go to a lot of concerts, believe it or not. Like I'm not a people person. Man, I don't even remember. Did I even go to any concerts when I was a kid? It was not a thing in my family to go to like concerts.
I don't know. Did you go to a concert
besides
as a
like
kid?
School concerts or something? Later on, I did go to a Weird Al concert. That was awesome. That was here. That was nearby. That was at the what's the theater that's in, like,
at Keswick.
Yeah, it was at Keswick. Yeah, it was like Weird Al at Keswick.
Amazing.
I don't know if that was the first one, but that's the one I like comes to mind when I think about it. What's like a concert I went to a long time ago? I mean, I go to a lot of shows.
The Chipmunks Live.
There you go.
I mean, I go to a lot of shows in places like, and I've gone in Philly and in the suburbs and Broken Goblet and stuff, but that's not what you mean by concert, I think. So like official, and we went to we went to a concert in Jersey, and Chrissy, what was that?
I don't remember it. That was a band you cared for and not me. So
anyway, but yeah, maybe it was
it was
Weird
like
Al
hair
show.
metal or something.
Yeah, we're gonna
I was
say.
Like,
no, I think it was Hailstorm.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna say that it was Weird Al because I can't remember anything earlier than
Chrissy,
that.
what was you?
Cyndi Lauper
Sick.
at
That's awesome.
5.
What year was that?
That was
That's a very show producer question. Like
that was oh my god, I'm so old. That was like
same.
39 years ago or something. I was a little kid. My
Amazing.
mom and my aunt took me to a bunch of concerts like in the 80s, like Cyndi Lauper, George
I
Michael.
was asking if it was like 85 when She Bop, and all that.
Yeah. Well, I named my first kid after Cyndi Lauper, so
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Hardcore
Abington
fan.
Arts Center Summer Concert Series.
Yeah. And then I saw her again, like in the early 2000s, like up in like Meadowlands or something. It was,
Wow.
And she was amazing because she was like 50, but man, she was amazing. It was awesome.
Yeah. The executive director, Rosalie at Abington Arts Center.
Yeah.
She's
cool. I like her. She's funny.
They went to high school. They were friends in high school.
Oh my gosh!
She's got
Next time I
stories.
go there, I'm gonna like stalk her.
You better.
So, oh, that's amazing. That's
Oh,
super cool.
good stories.
Yeah. Oh man, now I'm like, I need to stop by there for something.
Very cool.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Apparently, I saw Madonna, but I don't remember that. Like before she was big in Baltimore somewhere or something.
Wow, that
But
is wild.
yeah. But yeah,
Crazy that.
it was my aunt and my mom were like friends. I mean, obviously sisters, but they used to do that was like their thing, and then they would just like tag me along, even though it was real little.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people have that experience for sure, and some people have, their first concerts in their 20s or 30s, and
Yeah, I mean, my daughter only went to like her first concert last summer, so and she's 17 now. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was cheaper back then, so
I only really started going out to like see live music last, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years or something. Like I really wasn't doing a lot before then, but then I started taking photos because to give myself something to do when I was there. And then
after the gateway crash, it was just
yeah. And that got me into going, because then I was I felt more comfortable going there, and then I was taking
That's
photos.
great.
So
I mean, thank you for those amazing shots, and that it's just like that's the coolest part about a music community and stuff like that. That like you can use it as your platform to have the time capsule of that experience. Like
yeah, indeed. I go back and see the photos often, and and we met a lot of interesting people through the music scene, just because I took photos once or something.
Mhm.
It's a shame though. I'm not like an actual like full-time photographer or anything. It's just a hobby, and so like sometimes I have photos that I haven't like released from like years or a year ago or 2 years ago or stuff for things, because I'm like busy. It's a lot of work. I don't know how the people who do it for a living manage to do it. It's just and maybe it's just my style of editing. My style of photos is like highly labor intensive to do the photos, so it takes so many hours. I could not do this for any reasonable amount of money.
About that, like we're talking, things were a little cheaper growing up, but also like, do you imagine like producing a concert series without a laptop? Or being on the road with an artist without a cell phone? Like,
oh yeah, and I mean
like,
the technological advancements we have today have made things a lot easier, and yet it also means that like the amount of output expected, or the quality expected, is higher too. Like like photos is a good example, where if you're going with film, you have different considerations, and one of them obviously being you only have so many shots you can take. Right. So you have to you can't just shoot and spray photos. But with digital cameras, obviously you end up with so many photos, but it gives you the opportunity to get shots that would have been much more difficult, maybe impossible to get if you were doing film, because you can adjust things more quickly on demand. But the consequences, you end up with like thousands photos for a night, and then you got to go through it. So now it's like the digital stuff has made it easier to capture, but then it's a lot more effort to go through it in some ways. Not as much as like developing like actual film, but you got to go through like 1,000 photos and pick them. Then but then editing is a lot easier, because obviously you're not literally editing like physical. I don't have to like physically mess with stuff. But then it means the number of options you have has like become exponential. So it's, as the technology improves, it's like the standards get higher and higher and higher. And you see it everywhere. And I mean, I see that in the software space too, like, because I'm an app developer. Like I'm on Apple's platform, and it's like what counts as a standard level, like a minimal level for an app now, it's like so much higher. So I'm trying to build something, and it's like, oh my God, the amount of things I have to do now that just to get something at a minimal level is so much more than it was a few years ago. But that's progress, right?
Yeah, in a way. It is very far out. I've been I'm not like one for nostalgia usually, but the last few weekends been really rainy and just had nothing there to do. So I was watching some like Vice docs about the 90s and Y2K and stuff. I'm like, that was only like 20 years ago.
I know. I remember Y2K. People think that was like a big joke, and it really was not totally a joke. Like there were billions and billions of dollars.
We were...
like billions of dollars were spent to fix computer systems. Like,
Oh
and
my God.
everybody thinks it was a joke because nothing bad happened. Well, not anything too bad. And I was like, that's partly because companies spent billions of dollars fixing it. Like, it was a thing. People were literally paid
Yo.
to fix it. Like, these bugs were everywhere. So
I would love to be like, yo, how'd you retire? I cured, Y2K.
Office Space is a great movie because they mentioned the Y2K. I think that's like one of the plot points that they're fixing Y2K bugs.
That's hilarious.
That is a classic '90s reference, Y2K, because nobody cares about it. Man, there was like I wrote an article from like newspaper in high school about I think Y2K, and I said it wasn't going to end the world, but it was like definitely something people were fixing. I think that's what I said. It was a long time ago, but then I just remember all the sensational headlines about it. Is Y2K going to end the world? And people were like stocking up and getting ready for an apocalypse and stuff. And I was like, that's a little ridiculous. I think we'll be fine. Reboot the computer. It'll.
Oh my God. Wildest time.
Yeah, it was wild. But I agree. The '90s were 80s and '90s, man. They were different times. And it wasn't that long ago. It feels, 20 years.
I know.
It feels like a long 20, 25 years. Feels like it's actually more like 30 years now. Think about it. It's 2024, so it's at least 25 years since the 90s. So, we're old. Chris and I are very old.
Yeah, I mean, no app updates here.
Yeah,
When you see it's what you get, I think, at this point.
Okay. Well, I think that is about all the time we have. What time is it?
We're ending on that note.
We're old.
No app development.
Yeah, we're gone.
We will not fix your roof.
Yeah. But before we wrap things up, where can people find more of you and what you're up to? Where should they go?
I think best place for right now, as Stage United is still forming in the next this month and next. Friend me on Facebook, Joe Montone. Follow me on Instagram at Joe the Heat, and you can go to at Picnics on Pine as well on Instagram. And come out to the summer concert series. Starts June 27th at Abington Arts Center. Goes every Thursday through August 1st is our last night.
Beautiful.
And we got some great shows ahead for you.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Yay. I really like that series. I'm excited. I love the space. Yeah, it's a good one.
I was just listening to the Jenkintown 150 episode, so I want to hit up.
Oh, nice.
Ben, right?
Yeah, you should hit up Ben. Yep. Ben Bergman. Yep.
We're trying to think of what are we going to do for a 150? I was just asking.
I don't
know. Yeah, we don't have a place anymore, so it's gonna have to be like
That's
something.
what I'm saying. So I'm just like,
they don't
have a concert on the books yet. I think let's talk.
That's a good idea.
A 150. Yeah, that would be cool.
Do it.
Okay. So what time is it now, Chrissy?
It's time to wrap it up, Stephen. Time to wrap it up.
We got CrossFit to do.
Yeah. So if you're enjoying the show, please follow us on YouTube at Jenkintown Arts Garage, or our Instagram at Jenkintown Arts Garage, or the Facebook at Jenkintown Arts Garage. And also, if you want to really help us out, please subscribe, like, and share the video on YouTube, and ring that bell, all the things that the YouTubers say, because it actually helps. Because YouTube does not know we exist unless people subscribe and interact with the videos. If you want to get the full audio backlog, it's currently on jagcast.show, but our main website, jenkintownartsgarage.com, you can find links to everything there, including all of the video versions of the podcast and more stuff to come in the future. And right now, if you'd like to help us financially, go to jenkintownartsgarage.com/coffee and buy us a coffee and help us pay for the web hosting and etc. for the show.
Coolness. Sorry.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Looking around.
Yeah, so I guess the point is go to jenkintownartsgarage.com. So thanks a lot, Joe, for coming. It's been a really good conversation. Hopefully we'll have you on again. I think the summer concert series is going to be really fun. I'm excited to see who the lineup is going to be.
I know. I'm very eagerly awaiting
Thank you. Yeah.
The announcement.
Very excited too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so now you get to check out our amazing theme music from.
Yes.
Yeah. So here we go. So I wish we'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Thanks, Joe.
So much, guys.
We're learning to break the ice together.